Good evening, good morning. What's what time it is? It's about 12:30 tonight. I haven't put anything on the blog for a while. It's not that I've been busy. I've just been kind of nothing. No, a lot's been going on, but nothing I can really speak of on this blog. I was recently tonight. Yes, tonight. I was working on a Christmas gift for my dearest. I can't tell you what it is, but it does hone my domestic skills to the finest. I haven't made one of these in a very long time, so it's a pattern I designed. Let's see how it goes. It's coming out really well, but I'm actually kind of excited. I'm actually making something for somebody again. It's not a family member. It has been brought to my attention that I need to update my will. Weird, I know, I have a will. I also have an advance directive too. Every year or so I try to update my will. I have one. My closest friend knows exactly where it is in the event something happens to me or I'm put in a compromising position where I cannot make life decisions on my own. They know where it is. My advance directive is there. Everything is handled. All my information, all my specifics are in there. This also came up the notion of like my perception of death, and I am not one who is afraid of death. I think being alive, death is a part of that life cycle, and so I think we are trained in this society to be afraid of death. That death is this bad thing. How is something that's going to happen to all of us be a bad thing? We all are born, and that's great. We all grow, that's great. We all hit puberty, that's great. We all have these life milestones that happen. And the last one is supposedly the worst one. And it's only the last one based on your religious affiliation. So that is very interesting. I am a Buddhist, obviously. I mean, I've discussed this many times on my blog and video. And I don't think when your physical self fails for the last time, that is the end of you. Too much that I have seen in my own life tells me otherwise. I think we have a connection strongly to our physical self as the identifier of who we are. And while the physical manifestation of who we are is very much a part of who we are, it is not the only thing. I mean, what does it mean to be dead, really? This is something that comes to mind when I think about these things. Sorry, this light is like blinding me. What does it mean to be dead? What does that mean? What is it? At what point does a person be dead, die? I know a lot of people in the medical field would be like when the heart stops, when there's complete brain death, when, you know, the body, the ATP and all this stuff like that. But I'm not talking the measurable points of death, because I can stop a heart and the person won't be dead. You have to stop a heart when you do heart transplants. That doesn't mean the person's dead. You know, there's people who are brain dead but are still technically alive. Yeah, so it's things like that I'm just like, the lines are blurred when you try to get specific. For me, what is death is when the entity of the person or the soul is no longer there. When that soul's not coming back, ever. And I guess my way of identifying that is in a sense complete brain dead, because once that part of that who you are is gone, you are just this shell. Just as, sorry, my eye itches. Just as a beautiful, elegant Ferrari is super fast and super sleek, it's pretty much a piece of metal unless there's somebody in the driver's seat commanding that machine to do what it is designed to do, just as a human body is designed to live a human life. If there is no soul and no mind, that body is just tissue. So that's where my idea, my idea of what death is when our soul, our very life energy is gone. That felt really good. And then that raises the question of where does it go? I think reincarnation is what happens to us. How I explained what reincarnation is, I have it in my notes, and it's very specific. I broke down some of the key points of Buddhism in scientific terms, because when I was younger, I really loved science. I still love science. So there's a way to explain things. Stop that, Linda. The cat's being difficult. Okay. I found him. I couldn't remember the exact name, but I have it. What is reincarnation? This is how I explained it to myself. If you know science and the laws of science, then this should be really easy for you. The first law of thermodynamics. Energy is not created or destroyed. All the energy in the universe has been here since the beginning of the universe. With that being said, if you see the soul, whatever that is to you, as the energy that which your body and who you are thrives off of, fucking cat, then your soul doesn't die. You can't kill energy. You can't break energy. You can't even make energy. That soul goes somewhere where it can be used. It changes form. And in this sense, it changes its physical form. I think there are stages of form for the soul. I mean, there's a current stage. Like, I have a soul, and it has lived before in other physical forms. So that soul has lived before me. And I think that's where the concept... just rolls me with this. I think that's where, like, deja vu comes from. Things that are familiar to you, but you've never seen them before. It's because you remember them in your past life. Or people you meet before, and for some reason, you just get along so well, as if you've known each other your whole lives. Those souls and your soul were connected somehow in a past life. So, for me, reincarnation is the first law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be destroyed or made, just merely changed. And with Buddhism comes karma. What is karma? Karma is, how did I describe this? Is Newton's third law of motion. Every action has an equal or opposite reaction. For everything you do in this life, there is a balancing factor that comes back to you. When you think about this, things start to make sense. And that's where I had my moment of clarity. So that really helped me with Buddhism. There's just so much that I'm still learning about Buddhism. I'm still trying to expand my mind. And as part of the Buddhist way is you must learn about the universe and about the world around you as much as you can to best understand it and thus have a better connection to it. And that is my goal. And with death, I just have some like things that just with my will. One of the big things with me is that I've spent most of my life being very healthy. I spent my life as an athlete, staying in shape and all that great stuff. So in the event something has happened to me where I have irreversible brain damage or I'm not going to come back or I'm dead, I want all tissues harvested. That has been in my will since I started keeping them. All my tissues to be harvested. That's just one of those things I've always wanted. And I have it specific that any of my tissues that are going to be donated has to go to somebody under, I think, 30 or 35. I can't remember. And that is because I want what is left of me to be utilized in the best, which is a younger person. With that, if there's anything left, anything useful, because I have to burp, the rest of me is to go donated to science. And this is my goal, is to not leave anything to waste. After that, cremate me and send me to wherever you want to send me. And those are my only specific wishes in death. After that, I don't want to be, left on some respirator for the rest of my life. So anybody who's in the medical field who watches these and I end up on your slab one day, don't let me be stuck to a machine. But it sounds really morbid. I have no desire to die. I'm just being realistic, and I wish more people in my age bracket would be more realistic. And with that being said, have a great night. Namaste. Catch you on the flip side.